Okay, hello YouTube. I have one more game for you guys this week. It'll be against Zoro here. Going second against Zoro. Here's the list. Going second actually is not the worst against Zoro. Because going first as Zoro, you have a less likelihood of high rolling in the sense that you hitting the 3 cost Mihawk into the 4 cost standing Zoro into 2 cost blocker Koshiro is more likely when you're at second and you have one more turn to like farm your combo pieces. Here going first, he already missed his high roll combo.
7.
But he picks up Tashigi. Still not too bad. As Roger in this matchup, we are looking to get as much of a lead as possible during the early turns where Zoro is stronger.
Which one is
What
Dawn
get as much
when
link cards,
8 Dawn.
as much bodies as you can.
I'm at 5 now.
Not so much bodies, most likely you'll be giving up a lot of bodies. Number one priority will be preserving the certain. He plays Cavendish. Okay, not really sure why.
5K.
We saw him pick up the Tashigi in the previous turn. Tashigi here will be more pressure onto my bodies and my life. But maybe he's looking to keep the Tashigi in his hand. Maybe it's the only Tashigi he has in his hand and he wants to save it for something other than Darkness Bullet. But if it was me, I would definitely have just played the Tashigi here and pressured. Anyways, he has afforded us a little bit of leeway by leaving our Darkness Bullet up. So we will happily take that as the Roger player. More bodies means more time to soak up more hits, which means more hand size conserved, which means objective accomplished. See, by leaving this Darkness Bullet up, he's able to swing a 7k hit, which is big. Big for the Roger player. We get to push free damage. This is another 7k hit. Okay, looks like opponent wants to counter out of this hit. Most Zoro players would just eat the life here, as there's no sense in dropping so much counter just to protect the life when you are on the aggressive and you can force the opponent to play defensive, so your life is not really threatened, if you know what I'm trying to say. You can aggressively eat your life, gather more resources for yourself, and force your opponent to play defensive by going for your bot. So by you eating the life early, it doesn't really affect your defensive capabilities, because opponent will be going for your bot anyways. Yeah, I'm not sure if that made sense or not. But now he finally plays down his Tashigi. He can take out both of my bodies here, but yeah, we are completely okay letting it go. As I said previously, preserving hand size is the most important in the Zoro matchup. Okay, here we picked up the Whitebeard, which is good, very good. Something to play down this turn. Yeah, if we didn't draw that white beard, it would have been pretty bad. But saved, because we got it. 9k base now, we are going leader here. From this point on, we can ignore the bot already. Okay, he gives us the blocker. Okay, opponent is doing a good job at preserving his life count. So maybe it can afford him one more turn. Okay, opponent currently at 9 Dawn. Not able to play the 10 Shanks yet. Not really sure what's the best play for Zoro at this point. 9k base is pretty big. Pretty hard to hit with his bodies here. Okay, he decides to jam. We will gladly take it. Still at a healthy life count of 2. Okay, at this point, we have successfully preserved a good amount of counter value in hand. So we are safe to turn our body sideways. Because even if he plays the 10 shanks, swings 15k at my board, I have enough counter value in hand to counter out at least one hit. If on the other hand, if we had guarded early for our life, our counter value would have been lesser. Or if he pressured more, if he pressured my life more, maybe I would have guarded for my life more. And I would have been a little bit more apprehensive to turn my body sideways, because he might be able to take both my bodies with his 15k times 2 hit. And that will put me in a very tough spot. So yeah, by not pressuring me more in the earlier turns, I have more leeway in the later turns, which means I'm able to like push my advantage, be a little bit more greedy with my plays. And then slowly the leader power differential will cause me to get more and more advantages. That will snowball into a win. In theory, of course. In practice, anything can happen. Here we did a good job here in preserving counter value in hand. So yeah, we are pretty rich in counter. So even if he does 12 by 12 here, we just have to throw 6k counter and we can guard. So we're not afraid. We can just drop the shanks. Drop the shanks here. And yeah, if you let Roger get away with his greedy plays, you will have a crazy board advantage, as you can see here. 2 shanks versus 2 small bodies. Opponent, at this point, he can go for lethal, or he can block up and play one more turn. If he goes for lethal, I have enough guard to counter out. If he blockers out one more turn, he's just drawing out the game, which as I said previously, as the longer the game goes, the longer I get to abuse the leader power differential plus board differential. So it's more advantageous for the Roger player. So kind of opponent is in a lose-lose situation at this point. He let me get away with double shanks. So yeah, perhaps opponent made a little bit of a misplay in the earlier turns. Here it's important to note that if you don't have enough to counter out 12 by 12, you have to let go of these shanks. This 1k counter is a bait out extra 1k counter, and he goes 12 by 12 If he catches you off guard, you can lose a game here. But yeah, I'm a little bit too rich. And it's actually not 12 by 12. He has the Cavendish here, so he can get an extra 2k power for his leader. But yeah, it didn't matter. I am too rich at this point. Lucky enough to have the counter value. Shows him the 8k guard. And this game. GG. See you next week.